Don't call it a comeback because it's been here for years. Welcome back to the revived Draft Busters here on the Vendetta Sports Media YouTube channel. Just different hosts. It's been revived. I am your host, Garrett Burroughs, who will be joining me down at the bottom every single week is Chickster, a.k.a. Alex Chick. Every single week, we're going to be bringing you the best and up-to-date latest college football information leading up to the 2024 NFL Draft. Alex, Draft Busters is back. How are we feeling?
Okay, first of all, these aren't plugged in. Okay, that's one thing I
It's important to note.
Yeah, my iPad was charged. Second of all, I got a few evolves right now. First of all, that was it. Second of all, this graphic, fucking dope.
Shout out our fucking intern, bro, Benjamin Cole. Shout out Benjamin Cole.
That dude. Yeah.
We'll it'll be the thumbnail on the YouTube. You guys saw it when you guys clicked on the video. Thanks for watching, by the way. You can't sit there and tell us this graphic ain't dope.
I was like,
this graphic is tough as
Garrett
shit.
showed me, and I was like, this is one of the best things I've ever seen in my life. So like, put it on a t-shirt.
Really quickly, like a week ago, I had texted our group chat and said, hey, we're reviving Draft Busters. We're trying to think of a graphic for the YouTube. We were kind of spitballing ideas. I didn't really like what we were getting. I was just kind of like, whatever, no big deal. And then it came like a couple of days ago, and I'm like, shit, we need a graphic. And so I messaged Ben on Slack, and I'm like, hey, got this crazy idea. I don't know if you can make it work. I want to have this formatted like a draft card.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to give you free reign of like some of the things to fill in, but I want the player selection to be our names. And when we have players on throughout the offseason, they're going to be listed under the players as well. The school, everything, the name, you go hog wild. This is the first thing he sent me, and it was perfection.
Yeah.
The very first thing he sends me, he goes, hey, like, just let me know your thoughts. I can change anything what you want. And I'm like,
yeah, he's like, I'm just throwing this little
I'm like, Ben,
this is little sick. Draft.
So shout out Benjamin Cole because he absolutely crushed this. Our first episode of Draft Bust. Oh, sorry, you had some.
No, I'm still going. What was that? The second ball, third ball?
Okay, but that was your second ball.
The third of all, the first Draft Busters, no, that shit was horrible. I didn't watch it because I knew who was on it, and I'm not watching that shit. I'm sorry, that's who I am. Okay, if I don't think you're good, I'm not gonna pay attention to it. Okay, this shit right here. You know who it is. It's me and it's Garrett. And we're gonna do this shit. It's gonna be draft. Garrett's a big draft guy now. I told him years ago that he should become a fucking scout. And he's like, hey, I kind of like doing this shit. It's like, yeah, I fucking told you that. So now we are getting into this draft process. We are going to enjoy every moment of it. We are gonna bring you hopefully the best draft content you've seen in a video form on YouTube. This will be fun. Okay. That was all my alls.
We are going to have a blast. We are going to have a blast. And I can confirm, Alex was telling me this in like high school. He was like, hey, like, because like we would always talk football, and he can attest to this. I was like paying a lot of attention to the combine in like middle school, watching that shit every single year, like appointment viewing. And he was like, hey, like you should really try this out. And I think I really like kind of dove into it 2 or 3 years ago. And last year I hit it hot and heavy. And this year, the shit's coming.
It was the Senior Bowl. The Senior Bowl was that turning point.
It scratched the itch in me. I'm going this year as well, by the way. I think I'm going by myself, which is a bit of a bummer.
Fantastic year to go.
Fantastic. This Senior Bowl roster this year is stacked.
I wish I'd go with you.
I texted. Hopefully next year. We'll see. Then we'll jump into what we're doing in this episode of Draft Busters. I texted our group chat and I was like, hey, this list is absurd. I have a list on my phone of players that I would draft if I was a GM. Like 50 of the names that are going to the Senior Bowl are on my list on my iPhone of players that I would draft if I was a GM.
Love that for you.
This roster this year to the Senior Bowl is absolutely stacked. And we might be potentially getting either Jaden Daniels or Michael Penix.
Yeah.
Potentially. There's rumor. Nothing's confirmed yet.
Yeah, I mean, fuck, you're already getting Bo Nix there, so right?
We are getting Bo Nix and a lot of big name players, especially on defense. There's some studs on defense going this year for sure.
I am so excited for you.
This debut at the first episode of Draft Busters is going to be Alex and I are going to be mocking the 18 teams not in the playoffs. So in case you did not know, we put out an article on vendettasportsmedia.com that gave you guys the list of 18 teams and their draft order, which is confirmed. For right now, there are likely going to be trades. Teams could trade up, teams could trade down. This is the set 18 as it is right now. We're not going to be doing any trades. We're not going to be mocking any trades in here at all. Alex and I are going to be treating this as if him and I are in the war room together and we are making these picks. We're going to agree on some. We're definitely not going to agree on others.
Well, that's why it's called a war room.
It's a war room for a reason. We're going to fight for our guy, and it's going to make for good content, I promise. So first up on the clock is the Chicago Bears. Alex, it's draft night.
We gotta go Jaden Daniels.
We still got Justin Fields on our roster. We haven't moved him yet. We're getting some calls. We're getting some offers for some threes. We have 2 offers for 2s. Do we want to just hang on to Justin Fields and trade him? Do we want to go ahead and take a quarterback here? What do you want?
We got to take Caleb Williams. We have to do it. I feel like you're on the same page. We got to take Caleb Williams. We will never live this moment down if we get caught up in the moment of Justin Fields and don't take Caleb Williams. And I think Justin Fields knows that. I think he knows it's part of the business. It's the business. So he has to know that we have to go with our guy Caleb Williams here. We can't live it down.
There's been some talk during the bowl season specifically about the attitude of Caleb Williams being a detractor, and I just don't see it at all. Folks don't understand that Caleb Williams, I feel like this gets thrown around a little too much, the once in a generational talent. This kid is as once in a generational talent as you are going to see. We only get a couple of these in our lifetime. We've been blessed with Andrew Luck and Trevor Lawrence, and we get another one here. For my money, I think this is the best prospect coming out since Andrew Luck. I really do. I think he has a higher ceiling than Trevor Lawrence. You're exactly right. We cannot get caught up in the Justin Fields thing. And honestly, I don't want to pay him $40 million in a year and a half or 2 years. You cannot pay him $40 million. I'm going to let some other team make that decision. We're going to start over. We got 5 years of control with Caleb Williams. It makes the most sense.
Yep, I'm with it.
The Washington Commanders are on the clock. This one seems also pretty straightforward. The pick has to be Drake May. You know that I'm a Sam Howell guy. I think if Washington was picking literally outside of the top 3, I think Sam Howell's the quarterback of the Commanders next year.
I can see that.
But since they're picking 2, it's one of the situations we've talked about it before that if you're the team that passes on one of these guys and it works out, you look stupid. And
we actually saw Drake May last year.
We've seen him live. He played Pitt
and we were
last
gonna
year.
Be like, this dude's gonna be fucking good. He's gonna be fucking good. He's good. He's fucking fantastic. So he would be the number 1 if Caleb Williams wasn't in this draft. I feel
correct, 100%. I would even go a step further. If he was in the quarterback cycle last year, he's the number 1 overall pick.
Well, last year wasn't. Which one? Oh,
last year was Bryce and AR and CJ Stroud.
I don't know.
Not knowing what we know now, just off of the tape and what we see with the eye test. Obviously, hindsight being 2020, I think you still have to go CJ Stroud.
Yeah.
But just off of what the stats show us, the eye test, I think Drake May goes number 1 last year.
Okay. I probably would have had Drake May 1, CJ Stroud 2.
Correct. I think that is completely fair. I think that's completely fair. The New England Patriots at 3 are on the clock. They're in quarterback hell right now.
They gotta go quarterback, right?
They have to, no matter what, they have to go quarterback.
And whoever doesn't get picked in the top 3.
Correct, because your top 3 quarterbacks are Caleb, May, Jaden Daniels.
It's got to be Jaden Daniels. So it has
to be Jaden Daniels. And I don't think that is too far outside the realm of possibility. Which, looking at the Arizona Cardinals, this is a dream scenario. This is an absolute dream scenario because I think you are getting potentially I don't think it's outlandish to say that this is like the number 2 player in the entire class. Some people have him as the top player in the class.
Yeah.
And you're stealing Marvin Harrison.
I mean, a steal. If this was not a quarterback draft class, he would have went to Chicago.
Yeah, yes, exactly. I think if Chicago chooses to go Justin Fields as their quarterback going forward, Marvin Harrison is the first overall pick. That's how good he is.
Yes.
And there is interesting debate over the last month to 6 weeks that Rome Odunze has taken over the mantle as wide receiver 1 in this class. Don't get me wrong. I like Rome Odunze. I like him quite a bit.
I'm not even sure he's wide receiver 2.
I don't think he's even wide receiver 2 in this class. So I don't. I think I have him as wide receiver 3. He's better than Keon Coleman, who has, for some reason, Keon Coleman is like fallen down boards for some reason, and I don't know what happened. He was being mocked as high as when the Giants were picking 5th overall. Keon Coleman was going 5.
Well, I think
he's like fallen off as of late.
I think the injury of Jordan Travis hurt. And then
he didn't play in the bowl game as well, so.
And so, it happens. It really does. So
I can understand that.
Someone's gonna get lucky with that guy.
Correct. So yeah, Arizona. If the board falls this way, Arizona is stealing arguably one of the top players in the entire class. So and good for Kyler Murray as well, because he's going to get a stallion out there at receiver.
The stallion quip is always funny to me. It's a good quip. The Chargers are This is a very interesting spot, I feel like.
So early in the mock draft season, because I think it's really kind of starting to begin now, but you know me, I'm a fiend. I've been doing mocks the entire year.
Yeah.
A lot of my mocks were having the Chargers selecting corner. Like, I had a lot of mocks where the Chargers were going Kool-Aid McKinstry or Nate Wiggins. I think those are your top 2 corners in the class, followed very closely behind by Terrion Arnold. Very closely behind. Terrion Arnold has flown up draft boards this year, and I think with good reason. But here at 5, I think you take a player that can maximize Justin Herbert.
Yeah,
this for me, I think my pick is Brock Bowers at 5. And this almost is admitting that the pick of Quentin Johnston last year was a mistake. You whiffed on it.
We knew it was a mistake.
Those who knew. A lot of the media out there were like, this is a home run pick. Those here at Vendetta knew Quentin Johnston was like wide receiver 6 or 7 last year. Like, he's not good. And he was taken, I believe, 21st overall. And that was a mistake. This pick for me, if I'm picking Bowers here, is almost admitting that, yes, we messed up last year, but Brock Bowers is as foolproof of a prospect as you can get in this class.
Yeah. There's a lot of I'm with you on the Brock Bowers thing. I think it gives them another weapon. And you have a strong Keenan Allen, who's getting older a little bit, still had a very good year this year. Mike Williams, who was injured this year. And then you have Brock Bowers at the tight end position. Everett, I think, is on an expiring contract. So, I mean, like, you're getting a trio of nasty guys with hopefully an offensive coach to come coach Justin Herbert, and you're really setting yourself up for Herbert to have a huge year, and hopefully the Chargers have a huge year so they can, avoid the fraud allegations, as, I am willing to give out always. But Brock Bowers is, and really, I think the more I think about it, the more I realize what Trey's saying. He's like, hey, when you're like top 5, you just got to go with the best fucking player out there. Unless you already have a stud at that fucking position, you got to go. Like, Falcons, say what you want, is they picked Kyle Pitts at 4 a few years ago, but I mean, I feel like Kyle Pitts hasn't been used correctly. It was Kyle Pitts or who was the other? It was between him or someone else. I think it might have been a tackle
in the 21 class, I think.
Yeah, it was like between him or a tackle, but you got to go with the fucking freak right there. And for the Patriots, it's like, well, then why didn't the Patriots pick Marvin Harrison? Well, the Patriots need a fucking quarterback, and Jane Daniels is worth of being chosen in the top 5.
So picks 4 through 10 in this class. Kyle Pitts went 4th to Atlanta. Jamar Chase went 5th to Cincinnati. Jalen Waddle 6th to Miami. Penei Sewell 7th to Detroit. J.C. Horn 8th to Carolina. Pat Surtain 9th to Alabama, or 9th to Denver from Alabama. Devontae Smith 10th to Philadelphia.
I think it was Sewell. Might have been Sewell. I don't know. It was.
I think it might have been Sewell.
I think that was the big debate, but I think Kyle Pitts. I mean, like that guy's he'll be fucking nasty now that he has somebody.
I don't joke around when I say this. I don't think you can name 3 tight ends in the NFL that you would rather have franchise-wise than Kyle Pitts. I don't think you can.
Travis Kelce's getting old, and he took a huge step back this year, which I kind of saw going. I kind of avoided him in fantasy. That's a different conversation, though. After that, you got me George Kittle.
Who's getting older as well.
Yeah. I mean, hasn't Mark Andrews is probably the tight end 1, but he's, injured right now. Darren Waller, I banged the table for Darren Waller, but that dude can't stay healthy for shit. Like
I would comfortably right now take 2 tight ends over Kyle Pitts, and those players are Mark Andrews hesitantly because he's getting I think he's turning 29 at the start of next year.
Oh, and
he'll be 29, and TJ Hawkinson.
Well, Sam Laporta should be in that conversation too. He's getting there.
Sam Laporta is a stud. Sam Laporta had a fantastic year for the Detroit Lions. Cannot go understated. But yes, I 100% agree with you. I think that you have to take best player available. One thing that should be interesting come draft time, and this kind of flew under the radar, Corey Linsley retired from the NFL due to heart issues that he found recently. Corey Linsley is one of the better guards in the NFL who played for the Chargers. So it will be interesting to see if they go someone like Olu Fashanu, who has experience playing the entire offensive line. And you know how much I love offensive linemen who have experience all over the line.
It's awesome if you can get those guys. It's awesome.
I absolutely love them. So it'll be interesting to see if it's a guy like Olu to beef up the offensive line, or if it is Brock Bowers who is best player available. That will be interesting. But for now, we are agreeing that Brock Bowers is the pick for sure.
For sure.
The Giants are on the clock at number 6. This is kind of a gross situation.
Very
gross. You have to kind of work under the assumption that you paid him. You're probably sticking with Daniel Jones next year, whether you think it's a mistake or not.
Tyrod Taylor looks better than Daniel Jones.
Yes, he does, but you pay Daniel Jones, and we've seen that teams can get off with the contracts. We've seen it with Denver with Russell Wilson. We could see a scenario where they decide to move on, but right now, I don't think that is the smartest thing to do, only because your top 3 quarterbacks are off the board. For me, I think it's about surrounding Daniel Jones with as much help as you can. And for me, that's Malik Neighbors.
We are 6 for 6 right now. We are 6. But I can see the Olu pick here for the same reasons you said. Like, you can, like, Evan Neal's hasn't necessarily panned out yet. Yeah, like, I think he could be good. But you could also throw Olu at guard too, like I mean that's
can kick him inside.
So I this is a more flashier pick, but an Olu pick I think is between Neighbors and Olu. I think that's those are 100%. 2 good picks.
100%. Those are 2 solid picks that you cannot go wrong with. Worth noting, I did pound the table the year that Evan Neal came out that I thought Ike Ekwonu was the better tackle prospect. And he's playing significantly better than Evan Neal is. Just want to.
You actually do better. You actually do pretty well at tackle.
It's so annoying that it seems like my niche is offensive linemen, specifically tackles. Yeah. It's so annoying because it's flashy and sexy to do like wide receivers or defensive backs or things like that. Corners, yeah. No. I got a fucking nose for offensive linemen, I guess. It's so annoying. I hate it. Oh my god!
I actually do. I do okay at running back.
You know who does really well at running back? Fucking Trey. To be
Trey
fair,
does.
Trey's good at almost fucking everything. It almost is
Trey
a stretch.
is fucking amazing at wide receivers, though.
Trey is very good at wide receivers.
That guy is always on the fucking money with wide
Mm-hmm.
receivers. I've seen other ones in the past. I'm like, yeah, like some of the quarterback ones, I'm like, yeah, kinda. But the wide receivers one, no, that dude, like, he will always be right on the money. Like, and
Trey,
he has the receipts for him.
I don't want to blow up his ego too much and make his head too big than it already is. Trey is among, if not the best football scout that I have access to on any day-to-day basis on the internet. Genuinely. And I'm not just saying that because he's my boss and he cuts me checks and things like that. And he gives us this platform. I'm being so dead serious.
No.
Trey's a maniac when it comes to this stuff. He is a fiend. And it's paying off in space because, like you said, he's got all of these receipts. Because he's like, I called this shit 3 or 4 years ago. Now y'all are just finding out. And it's like, it's because he is the best at this shit.
I think wide receivers and corners might be his best positions. Like,
he's really good at running backs too.
He's all right. He's all right. But no, he's like, I feel like those are his best. Like, he always is kind of on the money as far as their ball skills and everything.
This just goes to show that Vendetta should be your home this offseason for the best draft coverage. Without a doubt.
You should already read
this should be your home. This should be your home.
You gotta read Trey's draft notes for sure.
Up on the clock is the Tennessee Titans. This one feels like an offensive line pick through and through. Ryan Tannehill's gone. Or at least he should be. You got to get him off the books if he's not already gone by.
Will Levis might be gone if they can't fucking protect. He might die on the field.
That's what I'm saying. You've got.
That was horrible.
That's a bit crazy, don't you think?
Comeback player of the year. I was rooting for that. That guy died on the field like he was football Jesus and came back to life. That dude, and he played a game. Like, he played a snap. That is the comeback player of the year. I don't want to hear it. I'm just saying. This is what you get. First episode.
We're just gonna scoot this right out of the way.
We're just gonna skate right. This is the type of content you came to see. Like, I have dark humor like that. This is what you came to see. Don't act like you wasn't.
I think the pick here is Olu. Simply because I think Joe Alt's got an uber high ceiling. I think Joe Alt one day could be an all-pro. He's going to be a stallion in the NFL.
It's one of those two.
I think it's a scheme fit in Tennessee. And now it depends as well because, Tennessee fired Mike Vrabel. So it's interesting to see if they really want to pound the rock again next year like they did this year. It kind of puts some emphasis on it. But Olu is a better run blocker than Joe Alt is. So if they want to continue that kind of trend, then I think the pick is Olu. But if they want to air it out more, I think the pick is Joe Alt. But you can't go wrong with either one.
Garrett, look at the team needs over here. I want to point to the right over here. Offensive tackle, offensive center, offensive guard. We were just talking about offensive line versatility. It's going to be fucking Olu.
Yeah. You could literally put him almost anywhere on the line. And
exactly.
He should thrive.
Look at the team needs, Garrett.
Sorry, man. My bad. This might be
Garrett,
where
we are 7 for 7 right now.
I think that's about to break here. Call me crazy. I think it might.
I don't know. What channel are you on?
I'm on ESPN 3.
Oh fuck! All right.
See, I knew it. I
was on 2.
Little inside joke. All
right.
Looking at the quarterback room, it's got to be addressed. We cannot go into 2024 with Desmond Ridder or Taylor Heineke at quarterback.
They're trading for Justin Fields.
If they don't trade for Justin Fields,
at
you have
8,
to do a quarterback.
Garrett?
This
at 8?
It's either Bo Nix or it's Dallas Turner. I can be talked into either one, I think.
I remember I asked you, I was like, Garrett, who do you think is the best edge rusher in the class? You're like, Dallas Turner.
That's why you were asking. But
that's who I went with.
The issue is that, oh man, I don't.
But how much of that was Arthur Smith? I don't think Ritter's good. I know I'm trying to like.
No, Ritter's bad.
Yeah, he is. I know. But what I tell you, I really think Atlanta is going to be in the running and gunning for Justin Fields. I do, because they can't pick a quarterback here. They can't do it. This is Daniel Jones picking quarterback at 8 for the Giants. I think that's the exact same spot too. I can't see it. Dallas Turner. The thing about it is when the Falcons do get a quarterback, they're gonna have a really well set up team to put around that quarterback. Mm-hmm. They can't pick 8. They can't do it at 8.
I have a sickening feeling that one of the 3 of Bo Nix, Michael Penix, or JJ McCarthy is going to get picked way too high. And I think Atlanta is that spot where someone's going to reach on one of those guys.
One of them will get picked high. Don't you worry.
No, they won't. I can promise. I can promise. Because I know where it's going, and it's not happening.
I'm just saying.
We'll get there.
We'll have that
there because it's gonna be a debate. Chicago's at 9. They picked Caleb Williams first overall. I think here it is best player available. The offensive line could use a little love, but there's not really a scheme fit that I love between Joe Alt and JC Latham. You've got Darnell Wright, who they picked last year, playing right tackle. Their left tackle's okay. I think they've got Nate Davis for another year. You're throwing up an O. You want a Dunze.
A Dunze.
I don't think I hate that pick.
It's a Dunze.
I don't hate that pick. We're gonna go Roma Dunze to Chicago at 9.
I mean, because like think about it. You have DJ Moore, who's already expressed doubt about being in the same fucking, like, he doesn't want to leave Justin Fields. Like, so if let's say he stays true to his word and he's like, you know what, I'm out because y'all got rid of Justin Fields, as they should. Now you're like, oh shit,
with a wide receiver 1, yeah,
exactly. Then that's what. But even if he does stay, now you have Caleb Williams with DJ Moore and Roma Dunze.
Yep, that's entirely fair.
And they're getting a new offensive coordinator too, which will be nice. You want to talk about a nice job being an offensive coordinator for
with
when
those
they
guys.
pick Caleb.
Yeah, it's nasty. It is nasty. This feels like a steal. This is a no-brainer. This is a slam dunk. You run, you sprint, you push over babies and old ladies to turn in the card for Joe Alt.
Yeah, at 10. Absolutely nasty.
This is an absolute steal. Joe Alt in regular years is a top 5 pick. 100%, no questions asked. And if you're getting him at 10 and you're getting back Aaron Rodgers next year, you have to go all in with protecting him. And Joe Alt is a generational pass blocker, and he's going to protect the blind side of Aaron Rodgers. So hopefully he doesn't snap that other Achilles. We've got Minnesota at 11. For what it's worth, the defense this year was supposed to be horrendous. Was supposed to be really bad.
We said that.
They weren't bad this year under Brian Flores.
Brian Flores is a good coach. I don't care what anyone says. He's a good coach.
It's true. I think you do need to go defense here, though, specifically in the secondary. Can I just say one thing? Can I toot my own horn for just a second? Would you allow me the floor? We said it at kind of the top of the show that I have really gotten into the scouting aspect over the last couple years, and I really scratched the itch with going to the Senior Bowl this past year in Mobile. One of the players that I fell in love with at the Senior Bowl last year was Ivan Pace. I would have been completely comfortable taking him as a day 2 pick. Probably would have taken him in the 2nd round as one of the top linebacking prospects in the class. He went undrafted and fell in the perfect scenario in Minnesota, and he's got that job for as long as he wants it.
Yeah.
Ivan Pace is a stallion. And people passed on him probably because of his size and some of his measurables, but all you have to do is watch the tape. He is violent. He constantly finds a way to the football, relentless tackler, and he developed his pass coverage, which I think was one of my weaknesses that I put in his draft report last year. I don't get it. He had top linebacking prospect written all over him, and he somehow went undrafted. And he is basically anchoring the middle of that field in Minnesota. So
what people don't, and what I'm learning now, what people don't understand is going to the Senior Bowl fucking matters. Because Garrett, and I'm gonna let you toot your horn twice in one show. Like I'm gonna let you come twice out here, okay?
My guy.
Right? Who?
That's my boy. Puka.
Who are we talking about?
Fucking Nakua. That's
You're talking
my
about your
guy,
Pookie?
bro. That's my Pookie Bear. What? No, I was playing. No. Puka was at the Senior Bowl the first day of practices. Did not practice the other 2 days. Did not play in the game. And I watched him that first day, and I was like, he's going to be incredible. He was constantly winning routes. He was constantly winning one-on-one jump balls. Routes super clean. Great hands. Great catch radius. And I pounded the table for teams to draft him early. I said he should have been a day 2 pick as well. I would have taken him in the second round.
So
I said that in the draft profile.
What was funny is during our dynasty draft, the rookie draft, he picked him in the third round. And
I used my third round pick on Puka when there was other guys still on the board.
And I was like,
who?
And
I was like, you just fucking
trust.
wait, bro.
He's like, trust. And I said,
the best rookie receiver statistically in NFL history. Most receptions, most yards in NFL history from a rookie receiver. Puka motherfucking Nakua.
You gotta put that on a shirt.
Put
Puka
some respect
MF Nakua
on his name. Put some respect on my fucking name as well.
All right. Now, bringing it back.
I think gotta go to the secondary here. I think the player with the highest ceiling is Kool-Aid McKinstry.
I put Kool-Aid.
I think that is a really smart pick, and that is the first corner off the board at 13, or at 11 rather.
Jesus, Garrett, I want you to know, 11 for 11 right now.
11 for 11.
Great minds think alike.
2 picks away though, and shit's gonna get off the rails.
Absolutely, but we're not there yet. Let's just enjoy the ride.
This also feels like a no-brainer to me. The Denver Broncos picking at 12 should be looking for a quarterback replacement. They're not going to get in the first round of the draft here. This is all about plugging that defensive line, which was horrendous against the run this year.
We are 12 for 12.
It's Jerzon Newton, which for my money is one of the better defensive tackle prospects to come out in the last couple of years. Newton's a game wrecker.
He's not a Jalen Carter. Well, he might be, but
I mean, he's going to be good, and he's going to be good early. And I think that like scheme wise, this is a really good fit for Newton as well for what they want to run in Denver.
Yeah.
13.
All right, Garrett.
The Las Vegas Raiders are on the clock.
This is why they call it a war room. We are going to
come. We're about to go to battle, I feel like.
We have to come to one conclusion.
Yep.
Okay. We have to come to one conclusion. No matter what it is, we have to agree on a pick. We have to compromise. So, who do you got? Let me hear it.
I'm actually torn between 2 guys, believe it or not. And neither one of them are a quarterback. Like you want.
I just want to hear what you have to say.
I am torn between J.C. Latham and I'm torn between Nate Wiggins.
What's crazy is both of those are wrong.
I hear you. I know how badly you want Michael Penix. You cannot take Michael Penix at 13.
Garrett, I understand, but I don't. You watched the same Raider games as I did, right? You saw Aiden O'Connell out there?
Michael Penix is going to be 24 when he steps on the field as a rookie.
Good for him.
There are guys in the NFL with 2 years NFL experience who aren't even 24. I'm not drafting him in the first round. I just put out
He's
an
not
article.
going to go. He's not going to be in the second.
Then you trade up.
What do the Raiders do at quarterback?
Here's the perfect situation. Because if they're picking 13 in the first round, they're picking 46 in the second, I think.
Yeah.
I can actually see that really quick. 44. They're picking 44. The perfect scenario is you don't take a quarterback at 13, but you trade back into the first round and you take him at the end of the first round. If you're so dead set on getting that fifth-year option with him, then you have to trade back into the first round.
This is a scenario if GMs were smart and did everything that we just did, because that is the perfect fucking thing you could probably do at this moment before watching Senior Bowl, before watching Combine. This is the perfect thing every team should do. Okay. The Raiders have to trade down, but this is not a trade mock draft. We can't.
That is also correct. With the way the board has fallen, this is a complete trade down situation for Las Vegas. But we said at the top, we are not doing trades in this mock, but we're on the same page that we would trade down, but we cannot do that. I will not pick a quarterback at this pick. I'm not doing it. I cannot do it. So I cannot take Michael Penix at 13.
Like draft day vibes. I already put the pick in.
That's fucking absurd.
I hear what you're saying. I already put the fucking pick in.
Listen, hold on. Roger Goodell's he's on the podium really quick. With the 13th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Las Vegas Raiders select Michael Penix Jr., quarterback, Washington. And that's when I quit my job.
Yeah.
That's when I quit because you undermined me.
Yeah, you undermined me. All right. Well,
here's let me make the case. Let me make the case for both guys, and then we can get back to our debate.
All right.
J.C. Latham, top right tackle in the class. A lot of upside, still very raw. He's going to need some work.
So is Michael Penix.
He's going to be able to play alongside Colton Miller, who I know you like a lot, who I have grown to like. I didn't like him at first. I thought he was super overrated.
He was a rookie. He's
grown on me. He's grown on me. I think the pairing and having two tackles, you can build within that. I think you can take Latham here and have your foundation at tackles, because not a lot of teams have that. On the flip side, my CB2 in the class is Nate Wiggins out of Clemson. I know that you think the cornerback room is not bad. I know that you believe that the cornerback room has nice depth. Alex, that cornerback room is not good. It's just
we're picking
not.
JC. If I have to prove a point here, we're going JC Latham.
Then we will pick JC Latham. I will turn that card
I'm not getting into that.
Perfect. That works for me.
We got a whole bunch of dogs in the cornerback room.
That's good. That's great. I know you got your Jack Jones. He's a dog. I get it.
Bro, Nate Hobbs? Are you serious?
They're dogs. That's great. Nate Hobbs and Jack Jones are dogs. Neither one of them's a CB1. You can't put either one of them on a Keenan Allen. You cannot put. No, you cannot.
Yeah,
you will get cooked. You'll get cooked.
Nope.
You put Nate Hobbs on Keenan Allen. Keenan's going for 10 for 125 and a touchdown.
Didn't happen.
It's happening.
Didn't happen.
I'm sorry. Nate. Okay, let's go over the AFC wide receivers. Let's go over them.
All right.
You mean to tell me that Nate Hobbs is locking up a guy like Tyreek Hill?
Yep.
He's locking up a guy like Michael Pittman.
Yep.
He's locking up Jamar. Okay, you're saying yes to
absolutely. I am. Like, what do you want me to admit that I'm
like? There has to be some level of self-awareness, and you have to take the bias out of it.
The self-awareness went out the window as soon as we went to 13th.
That, you know what? Maybe that's on me. Because
there you go. You're figuring it out. All right, let's go.
But man, that you'll come to understand that the defensive back room needs an upgrade badly. The
defense played fine.
The New Orleans Saints are on the clock
Top
at
10
14.
Defense.
the draft needs show that you need to beef up the offensive lines.
I think
Or
it's just
offensive
defensive
lines,
line
the
in general.
lines. The problem here is that there's not a defensive tackle you can take to beef up.
I think they just need to go defensive line or edge almost. I think.
I think it would be a different scenario if the quarterback I was protecting wasn't Derek Carr. And I do not disclaimer, I do not mean that. I do not mean that to be a nasty comment because I know you like Derek Carr, and I didn't think
he did not have a good year. He had a better second half of the year.
he was the problem in Vegas. Just as a disclaimer, I did not think he was the problem in Vegas. I didn't think he was.
Showing now.
But yes, he did not have a very good year this year. He will likely be back as the quarterback next year.
The second half was better, to be fair.
I can't go offensive line to protect Derek Carr. I don't think you can.
Go to defense. Let's click on defense here. Let's go to edge. I'm trying to remember. I know who I picked. So what I did here was I think I went Garrett Burroughs here. I think I went Garrett Burroughs or I went Latu. I think both of those are. I feel like even if you need something at defensive tackle, I think if you need something on the defensive line, you need to just go with a defensive line player, even if it's an edge player.
The higher ceiling player is Latu. The only concerns that you have drafting Latu is his injury history. When you turn that card in, you really need to trust that he's going to stay healthy and be on the field. Because when he's on the field, he's got a really high ceiling. He's got a good motor. He's got some nice pass rush moves. I think the safer pick is Jared Verse. Jared Verse really came out at the end of the year as well.
I went Verse.
I don't have a problem turning that card in. I don't.
Okay.
The Indianapolis Colts are on the clock at 15. This is a team that finished the year, I believe, 9-8, just missed out on the playoffs. They had a chance to go win and in and lost to Houston. So they just missed out on the playoffs.
I think I went Latu here. I can also see Nate Wiggins here. I can't remember if I did Latu or Nate Wiggins.
Alex and I were talking about this before we started recording. I did this mock on my phone and I had it perfect the way I wanted it. And then I think I Googled something on top of that tab and I lost it.
Just go to your history.
I think the player that I chose was Keon Coleman. I think I went receiver, and I only say that because I'm trying to surround Anthony Richardson with as much weapons on offense as possible. And I think Josh Downs is going to be a nice player. Alec Pierce has showed flashes this year, but hasn't quite developed in the way that you wanted to. I think Keon Coleman plays perfect on the opposite side of the field. Let me get myself in frame. Pittman, Coleman, and you got Josh Downs in the slot with Jonathan Taylor in the backfield. That's a really good offensive grouping for Anthony Richardson. There is some depth that you can have at edge rusher in the second round. There is. There's guys you can get in the second round. I think someone like JTT could be available for a very quick trade up to make sure you get your guy. If I was turning in the card here, I think I would be turning in the card for Keon Coleman or for Nate Wiggins.
I think Nate Wiggins is the pick then. I'm not saying that the Colts don't need more weapons. They do. But I think with how their defense is looking, I think they need some guys.
That's entirely fair. That is entirely fair. I hear you 100%. I do think that wide receiver should be something of a priority for Indianapolis in this class, though. And I know that sounds funny because they have invested some capital in each of the last couple of drafts at receiver. But Alec Pierce hasn't really shown a lot, and Josh Downs, I just don't think isn't built to be a wide receiver too. He could be a hell of a slot guy. The Seattle Seahawks are on the clock at 16. Not really sure who's going to be the head coach for the Seahawks, with Pete Carroll being moved to an advisor's role for the front office. It's being rumored that one of the hotter candidates to take over him is Dan Quinn, another defensive-minded guy, which I wouldn't hate that. If you're bringing in a guy like Dan Quinn, I think the perfect pick here is Terrion Arnold.
Yeah,
I think you can put him. They've got some nice players in that cornerback room. They just drafted Devin Witherspoon at 5 last year. You might be like, well, that seems silly. You took Witherspoon at 5. How can you go another corner? It's because you got to stop some of these receivers in the NFC.
Yeah.
The NFC's got some dogs at receiver. And if you can build up a Legion of Boom again with Dan Quinn back in town, that proved to be successful in the past.
Nasty business. That's nasty.
We've got 2 picks left here in this episode of Draft
Because we're doing top 18.
Watched it so far because we're just doing the top 18. We're doing the non-playoff teams. If you will. This will be our 0.5 mock draft. I like that.
And
the Jacksonville, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say like this, and guys, this is not gonna be just let's just do a mock draft every week. No, we're gonna be looking at guys like this. We just want to put something in the table, and then from here on to the playoffs, we're gonna be talking about players from here on there, and then from there, when we know draft order, we might do another mock draft. It's gonna be a whole variety.
We'll be doing mocks. Don't think this is just a mock channel or a mock show. We are leading off with a mock, like Alex said, because this seems like the best time to do one with part of the draft order set. Alex is 100% right. We have a plan and a schedule in place. Pardon me. We have a plan and a schedule in place to be going over position by position rankings. We're going to be talking about our guys who we love, guys we hate. We're also going to be reaching out to draft prospects. We're going to be trying to get some guys on the show to do some interviews as well. That's going to be just standalone episodes as well. Just keep an eye on the channel because there's gonna be some good shit coming. There's just patience. One team that can't really afford to show a lot of patience right now is the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Were we wrong about these guys?
This was supposed to be their year. They were supposed to run away with the division. Didn't even win the division. Didn't even win it. So this needs to be who is the best player available. And for me, the guy who's going to make the biggest impact and the highest risk, high reward guy is Latu.
Yeah. I could see also what's his name? You just talked about him, JTT here. But yeah.
JT Tia Luminau. Tui Mulau. We're not going to have you try to pronounce it because you are among the worst humans on the planet in pronouncing names.
I hope if we have someone on here that he has a good name that I can say.
I want you to know, if we start getting guys on this show, I'm specifically going to go out of my way for just one episode to get a guy with a fucky ass name.
And I'm like, dude, I'm not going to be able to say your name. And just understand that
I'm gonna be calling you
that's
nicknames.
On me.
I'm gonna call you some initials. I'm gonna give you a nickname at the top of the show. I ain't doing the name.
Nadumakung
Violently crazy. The Cincinnati Bengals at 18 are on the clock. I am kind of working under the assumption that T. Higgins is likely gone.
My God.
I think you could also go corner here. I am not eating the cheese on Cooper DeJean this year.
You're not picking up for the all white team.
I don't. Maybe I just don't see it. Maybe I didn't watch enough Iowa football.
That's one of the funniest things is the all white versus all
black teams.
Like that. Like even though it's kind of like mildly racist, it is hilarious. I'm sorry, it is because the all white team fucking sucks.
I would turn in the card.
This is a good trade down spot for the Bengals.
This is also a good trade down spot for the Bengals as well. I could see a scenario for Keon Coleman. I could see a scenario for Denzel Burke. I could see a scenario for Armarius Mims. And that covers each one of the 3 listed top, team needs.
I think the pick is. I think it's Keon Coleman.
I could turn in the card on Coleman. I think I could.
Yeah, you're not. Are you not a Fuaga guy? Atalis Fuaga.
I like Fuaga as well. I think that Armarius Mims has a bigger upside than Tyalise Fuaga, who has flown, like quite literally. He is one of the bigger risers right now up draft boards. He's skyrocketing. But I think that Armarius Mims is another one of those guys that's raw and young, and you get him in a good system with some like established like veteran leaders on that team, and he will mold into whatever you want him to be. 100%. That is going to be it for the picks. We're going to go from the top and start over again. Again, just to clarify, this is Alex and I agreeing on every single pick. We had to, on some picks, go back and forth. Pick number 13 in particular. And there
Unlucky
there were no trades allowed in this mock draft, which there probably won't be any mocks in any of the mocks that we do, just as a precursor going forward.
Because how are you supposed to predict, the Bears going down from 1 to 9 and giving up, or the Panthers, giving up DJ? Like, you can't predict that shit.
You just can't. So no trades in the mocks during this offseason.
Wait. But if we do like if we do a specific team, right? And you know how like you get the trade offers, right? Like, let's say
yes. So when it comes really close to draft season, Alex and I will be helping out Trey with doing the like the team war rooms, where we'll be going through and doing the draft, all 7 rounds for every single NFL team. Then we could potentially try to do trade up or trade downs. But like when Alex and I are combining to do a full mock, no trades. Thank you for that. That is a good thing to tease to later on as well, for sure. Caleb Williams goes number 1 overall to the Chicago Bears. Justin Fields has been traded away. Drake May, number 2 overall to the Washington Commanders. Sam Howell also probably traded away. Jaden Daniels, number 3 overall to the New England Patriots. Marvin Harrison gets stolen.
Wait. Matt, what happens to Mac Jones?
He is going to sell real estate in Tuscaloosa. He's working on his sales pitch. Mac Jones is not good enough to have a spot in the XFL or the USFL or whatever they just want.
Yeah, that's a slight overexaggeration.
Mac Jones is trash. That guy sucks.
But not even the XFL?
Nope.
Oh,
I'd rather have AJ McCarron than Mac Jones.
That's absurd, I think.
You can argue with the monitor on your desk. I don't care. The Arizona Cardinals steal Marvin Harrison Jr. at 4. The Chargers go best player available with Brock Bowers at 5. The Giants try to get Daniel Jones some help and Malik Neighbors at 6. The Tennessee Titans try to address that offensive line with Olu Fashanu at 7. Dallas Turner at 8 to the Atlanta Falcons. Roma Dunze comes to Chicago to help out Caleb Williams at pick number 9.
Home run draft for the Bears so far.
They've absolutely crushed 100%. Joe Alt falls to the Jets at 10, which is another home run pick. Kool-Aid McKinstry is the first corner off the board at 11 to the Minnesota Vikings. Jerzon Newton, the top defensive tackle prospect in the class, goes 12 to the Broncos. After much debate, we land on J.C. Latham, 13th overall.
Quarterback.
It's
quarterback.
Anyway, J.C. Latham goes 13 to the
Michael
Las Vegas
Penis,
Raiders.
no matter what.
Jared Verse goes 14th overall to the Saints. Nate Wiggins tries to help out the defense in Indianapolis at 15. Terrion Arnold helps to complete the Legion of Boom in Seattle. Laiatu Latu, high risk, high reward for the Jacksonville Jaguars, who need best player available for the defense. And Keon Coleman to Cincinnati, with T. Higgins likely departing. And I know what Alex is writing down. He is referencing the movie Draft Day. He's writing down Michael Penix Jr., no matter what, on a sheet. Here we go. Michael Penix, no matter what.
I'm not taking it down. I'm holding it up for the rest.
I know. I hear you. So we're going to go ahead and get out of here then. So Allison got to hold that much longer. Thank you for tuning in to the, we'll call it partly debut, partly the rebirth of Draft Busters, the revamped version
We
of
are
Draft
a phoenix.
Busters. Down there, who will be joining me every week is Chickster, aka Alex Chick. I'm Garrett Burroughs. Thanks for watching another episode. If you have not subscribed to the YouTube channel already, please be sure to smash that subscribe button, ring the bell so you don't miss any more of the content coming out of the Vendetta Sports Media YouTube channel. If you like the video, please be sure to leave a thumbs up, comment, share it with a friend, and we're going to see you on the next episode of Draft Busters.